to do. But I have to give these brothers a proper introduction. Neither one of them are a stranger to the Dr. Don radio show. They're both friends, not only of the show. Forget all that. They are friends of Dawn Paul before she was the Dr. Don. Amen. Sometimes we get so caught up in these little titles. But I have to first introduce Edmond Baker Jr., a.k.a. Uptown Saxman. He's the saxophonist to the stars. He's a first-class entertainer. He is a minister, counselor, certified mediator. He is also the founder of 4 Single Fathers. Okay? Welcome back to the Dr. Don radio show. Saxman, how are you, Edmond?
Doing terrific. Glad to be here again.
Yes, and we know you love that. And last but not least, his title, look, Homer Beaumont Denson, one and only, supported since day one. How are you?
Retired Navy, retired from Harris County, 100% vet, Social Security. I'm all that. I'm retired, fully retired.
I thought you went back to work though. You didn't go back to work?
I couldn't do it.
Okay.
I want to enjoy this retirement life and enjoy my kids, enjoy my grandkids. That's what I'm going to do.
Okay, I love that. And how's wifey? Because since we've seen you last, marital bliss?
She's fine. She's
good.
Fine. She made it through all her chemo. She's going through radiation right now.
Yeah.
She's moving around. She's eating, so she's good.
Yeah, and we've been keeping her in prayer. I keep people in prayer when I see what's going on. So we just pray in the name of Jesus that she stay in remission, right? Yeah, we got to pray for each other. Got to pray. But brothers, let's have this conversation. And people, everybody listening, I will be uploading this to my YouTube channel and also to my podcast platform. So don't worry, you'll be able to catch the replay again. So, brothers, let's kick it off with this conversation. And we like to have a conversation. You don't have to raise your hands to speak. Y'all know how we do it. I want to know first from you, Edmond, and then you, Homer. If I ask different men about fatherhood, what their experience has been, it's going to be different, right? Some may say it's entertaining, it's funny, it's a privilege. I don't know. But in your experience as a father, how do you all describe fatherhood?
Who first?
Yeah, either one.
You can go, Saxman.
All right.
Because Homer, something tells me his answer gonna be, look.
So you say, how do I describe fatherhood?
Yeah, in your experience.
Okay. Well, in my experience, it's been very challenging but rewarding.
Okay.
Because I put my whole life into my kids, and everything I do is for my kids, and so to me, fatherhood is, like I said, those 2 words. It's challenging but rewarding. When you done put the right stuff in them, and you've basically train them up in the way they should go, and so according to the word, when they get older, they won't depart. They'll stay in God's will and in His way. So that's all I can do. I did my part. They teenagers now, and so still, raising them. But everything that's in them is in them now. So they make their own decisions and choices and stuff.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. You, Homer, how would you describe fatherhood in your experience?
Well, everybody know that I have 7 kids,
Mm-hmm.
by 7 different women,
Mm-hmm.
which I got 14 different personalities that I had to deal with. But I enjoy being a father.
Yeah.
It took me a while to learn how to be a father. I didn't know how to be a father.
Yeah.
So it took me a while to learn how to be a father. It was a lot of pain and hurt here and there. Some kids was neglected, so I had to make up for that because it's kind of hard to see everybody, and I was in the service at the same time. But as you can tell, if you're on my page, you see me and my kids spend a lot of time together. We go places together. My kids live in about 7 different states.
Yeah.
Last year, I went to visit every state to see my kids.
Yeah.
So I really enjoy being with my kids.
Yeah. And I see, this show is no judgment, just realness for a reason. Edmond, you've been on here several times. Your wife said, I can't do this anymore. She left you. But Homer, there are men out there who have multiple children with different women, and they are trying to maneuver that. So I want to thank you for being here, because there's a brother, I believe, who is going to be able to connect to either one of you. That's what I feel. Good evening, Thesia. Thesia is on here. And you know, I just really want to say thank you to both of you. I want to say thank you. Let's talk about the term baby daddy. How do we feel about that term? You, Edmond, and then you, Homer. We hear it all the time, guys. Baby daddy, a baby daddy. How do you feel about that term?
Well, it to me it's become a derogatory term, but I mean it's just some slang. I mean to me it don't matter one way or the other. But you know when you hear somebody saying baby daddy, baby mama, I mean to me it just become just a figure of speech, just some slang. But it, I never really look at it as anything negative, but you know that it might mean something different to somebody else than it means to me. But to me, when they say baby daddy, I just think somebody they try to make it like it's a ghetto term or something. But yeah, I don't really take offense to it.
Okay. Vicia says, I hate it, and I hate that she hates the term baby mama too. Yeah. You, Homer, how do you feel about the term baby daddy?
I don't mind. My kid's mother really don't use it that much unless they joking around.
Okay.
They normally call me their baby father. They won't even allow me to call them baby mama. So I respect them enough not to call them baby mama because they actually take care of my kids.
Yeah.
So we don't do that.
Yeah.
Unless she just playing or she or they, because there's so many of them, are just playing, but they never really use the term. And I never call my baby mama. I speak my child's mother when I speak of them.
Yeah. And that's good. And Thesia, you brought up a good comment. When we use terms like that, it depersonalizes us. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's good. Thank you for your comment, Thesia. Thank you for that. And Homer, I agree. You take care of your kids. And I think you were on the plane, right? One of your kids called you and you said, I got to go. My kids call and I'm there.
Whenever my kids say, I need you, I'm out there. Whenever they say, I need you. Now, if they want me, that's a different thing. But when they say they need me, I'm on the way. So I'll be out of here Thursday.
Yeah.
One need me to pick up the airport on Saturday, and one need me to be in Tennessee on Thursday. That's what we're going to do.
Okay. Okay. Now, and I think I like that you share that transparency. And Saxman, we're going to talk about your initiative later for single fathers because your nonprofit helps other single fathers. But how do you feel, and first you, Edmond, and then you, Homer, how do we feel about the way TV, movies, reality TV, how it depicts fathers, especially Black fathers, right? It's always the single mother, and we get it, there are single mothers, right? But it just feeds into the stereotype that our Black fathers are not there for their kids, and it's depicted so much. How do you all feel about that?
Well, me myself, but also just to clarify too about the baby daddy, baby mama stuff, we don't even ever use it. That's why I was trying to just figure out a way to explain it, but we ain't never used those terms. That's why I say I think ghetto. They try to, that's how they try to make that term, but we don't ever use those words. But anyway, like also with TV and stuff. I mean, it's not a whole lot you can do with it because we don't control it. But the narrative is, that the father is absent. Especially in the African American community. Every time you see something, and even if the father there, he like some nut or some goofball or some, that don't have no sense or lazy or stuff like that. So me myself. Since I can't really do nothing about, how they, depict us on TV, I just try to be the real life example,
That's right.
And show people, that that's not us. That's not how we are,
That's right. That's right. And we have to, and you said you hit it because we don't control the narrative. Who controls these media outlets? It's not us. It's not us. Homer, how do you feel when you see how Black men, Black fathers are depicted on TV?
Well, half of it is true.
You think some of it can be, but
half of it is true.
You think it is?
Yes. I see a lot of guys who
Oh, hold on. We're having a hard time hearing you. No.
Okay. Yes.
Okay, now we can hear you.
You can hear me now?
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, some of
There's a
it
popping. Hold on. There's a popping in the background. What is that?
is not at my house.
Okay. Keep going.
You got
Go
it?
ahead, Homer.
Yes, well, some of it is true. We all know that some of it is true.
Okay.
We got some that's not into their kids' life.
Mm-hmm.
We had it. You know, it been times that I wasn't in my kids' life. I'm not
Okay.
gonna sit here and tell you I was in my kids' life all the time. I wasn't. You know, like I
Okay.
said, I didn't know how to be a father. Uh, Sometimes we don't be in their life because we mad at the kid mother or whatever the case may be. But it happens. We just have to grow. You know, we have to be around other men that I seen other men how they cared about their kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it made me feel bad because hey, like, you know, I got a kid here, I got a kid here. I have to start being in my kid's life. And what really made me get into my kid's life, I didn't see a son. One of my sons, I didn't see till he was 15 years old. And I flew him out to Houston. He came out to Houston, and I asked him. I said, "What do you want from me, or what do you want to know from me?"
Yeah.
All he said, "I want you to do is be my father.
Mm.
I don't care about no money. I don't care about anything. I want to be able to call you
Wow.
and talk to you about certain things that I can't talk to with my mom."
Wow.
That right there just took everything out of me.
Wow. That's good.
Everything out of me.
Mm. And how old was he?
He was 15.
Okay.
He just wanted to know who I was,
Yeah.
what I do. He wanted to know about his other siblings, what they do, what they like to do. And that's all he know. He told me that.
Wow.
I told him
Wow.
something else. You know, be angry.
You know what, Homer? I'm having a hard time hearing you. Log out and then log in again.
Okay, Lord.
So don't worry about it. Now you go ahead, Edmond.
Well, well, you know, it's like everything is based on your environment and your upbringing. But the TV, you know, they do overdo it as far as making it look like that black fathers are non-existent almost in the home,
Yeah.
and like because in my situation growing up, all of my cousins and friends had their daddies. We all grew up with our daddies.
Yeah.
you know.
But yeah. But some don't. And that's the
Uh-huh.
absolute that's just the absolute reality. For some it is, and for
Yeah.
some it's just not.
But
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. They ain't gonna show that on TV. All you see on TV is the ones that's not.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know. But like I say, everybody in my whole community had their daddies growing up. And so they don't show our neighborhoods. They just show the one where it ain't the daddies. I'm just saying that's how they try to depict us all. You know.
Mm.
Wow, where you from, Mayberry? Because this is my first time ever hearing that. I've never heard a black man say everybody had their father in their household.
But
For
see,
real.
different
That's
environments.
rare. That's unusual. That's not
I
realistic
know
in my world.
it's unusual based on like I'm saying, like if you see on TV, you'll swear it ain't no fathers, black fathers, coming up in the same family, with the kids. But my dad, my grandparents, me, I mean, we all come up with our children and since day one, before they was born, we was there, and so it's like
Wow.
you're not gonna see that too much, on especially on TV. But but
But I think it's interesting because Homer said, I didn't see that. He said, that's not reality for how he grew up. But Edmund, you say for how you grew up, that's what you saw.
that
So
was
I
my
think
fault.
it's interesting. That's why we both, I need both perspectives because I
Yeah,
think somebody can relate, a brother can relate to either one of you.
yeah.
Next question. Okay, so how do you co-parent in peace? Because I'm sure now, Edmund, your wife left. How do you deal when she, how do you deal with that?
Well, just to clarify, I had two that left. Cause
Oh,
my
okay.
my son, he's 24 and he in the military, but me and his mom, uh, we divorced when he was like six months,
Mm,
and so I raised him from the time he was 6 months to almost 3 years old when I got remarried. And then I was married to my girl's mom for 11 years, and then once we split, it was him. He was 15, and my youngest was 6, and then my other one was 8. My two girls were 6 and 8, and so then I had all three of them.
mm,
And so I was a single parent twice.
wow.
Uh, but like you said, you see the single moms everywhere. Everybody talks about the single moms, but I've had a hard time dealing with my children's mother. Like they've been the ones that been not want to do right, not me.
Mm,
And so that's what I'm saying as far as that other side. That's it might be rare, but it's still here.
yeah.
And so it's more of us than you would imagine. Because you don't hear or see about us. They ain't gonna
Well,
highlight
just
us.
just like the stereotype, men are the only ones that cheat. No, you have women who walk out on their husbands and leave them for another man. I know that. But Homer, you, how do you co-parent in peace?
Oh, well, first I had to, because like I said, I got 7 different kids' mothers.
Okay.
Uh, I had to actually call them and apologize to them for
Oh,
everything
wow.
that I did and what I didn't do. And I said, hey, let's make our kids' life better.
That's good.
I had to do that. Woman never left me. I understand you saying, but I ain't never had a woman left me. They would not leave. They would not leave. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
So
goodness.
I
So your
had
problem was they wouldn't go
kids.
nowhere. Yeah.
I just told you, I have 7 kids by
Yeah.
7 different women. But we came to that point that, I say, hey, I apologize for everything I did to you. I apologize for not being there sometimes like I should. So let's go from here. Let's make our kids' life easier and better than what we had for ourselves. So
Yeah.
with that said, I have 7 kids. All of my kids that are married to the women and men that they went to high school by their husbands and wives. All my kids, most of them has their degrees.
Mm, yeah.
I got 2 of them working on their degrees now. So I think we did good as co-parenting.
Yeah.
We didn't step on each other's toes.
Yeah.
Whenever I had an issue with my kids that I was taking care of it, their mom wouldn't get in my business. When it comes to me, we was a team, and that's how we did it. So, and we
That's
still
good.
do it like that today. We're a team.
But I think that's good how you said, I put my pride aside and you said, I apologize. Let's get this thing straight for the kids. And I think, yeah, I think when you got to put your pride aside, pray, and you just got to say, we got to do what's best for the children. We got to do what's best for the children. Okay. I want to know how you all feel, because men will talk to men, right? So, what do brothers tell you all? Other fathers have to tell you. Do you feel that fathers sometimes don't have the support like mothers do? What are fathers out there saying?
You go, Sax.
Well, from my perspective, um, I see. That's why it depends on your story, because my particular story draw people who can relate to my story. So I get a lot of men who are single fathers, and so the stories I get is that they get a bad rap, even at church, because on Mother's Day they get all the single mothers stand up and pray an extra prayer for him, but then on Father's Day they don't get even a mention, because nobody even think about a single father. And so even if he got 3 or 4 kids raising by himself, nobody ever look at it like that. They think about the single mom with 3 jobs, but it's single dads with 3 jobs, trying to hold it down too.
Yeah.
And so I like I say, I come from on a different angle, whenever I come, because the single dads get overlooked, and so I get a lot of men, that's broken by the system, because even when they need help and stuff, people look down on them and stuff because they figure, you're a man, you ought to be able to, handle everything by yourself. But then if it's a single mama, they have sympathy and sympathize. And so I get a lot of those men, that want people to understand and relate to them. So that's kind of like my perspective, as far as me.
We talk about child support now. Homer, here we are, child support for 7 kids. That I'm sure the financial. How was that financially?
It was straining. I
Mm-hmm.
think that was one of the reasons that me and my kid's mother was at odds.
Yeah.
I felt that I was doing for my kids, but each time I go with another woman or whatever, they go put child support on. But I didn't mind paying child support. The reason I didn't mind paying child support, and I worked 2 or 3 jobs, because I had to make sure that my kids was okay. I drove my car for 18 years. I didn't go get a new car because I had to make sure that my kids was okay. So child support, you have to do it. I may add, I had custody of 2 of my daughters.
Yeah.
At one time. So with that said, not because their mom left or whatever the case may be, one was trying to further her education, and she said, "Hey, I need you." Sinner, I will take care of her. The other one, son, my other daughter, because she said, "Hey, I need to get out this environment right now.
Yeah.
It's too much." Sinner, I enjoy taking care of my girls. I enjoy being a single father. And the thing about it is, now I see what the mothers go through. I see exactly what they go through. It's a lot. I got to go to soccer practice. I got to go this. They got this going on. They got that going on. They need this. They need that. I was like, wow. So I had a new outlook on being a single parent. And another thing that I don't let my kids' mother say they're single parents. They can't say it around me. You know why? Because I'm in my kids' life.
Yeah.
If you single because you ain't found nobody or nobody wants you. But you're not single when it comes to a parent because I'm in my kid's life.
Because you're co-parenting.
Exactly.
You're not doing it alone.
You're a single parent. You're not a single parent.
That's good. That's good. Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
and a lot of people say single parent because you're not, like if you're single, I'm a single man. So if I had kids or not, I'm still a single man.
Yeah.
So I'm a single man with kids. So yeah, and I'm a parent. So I'm not single with no kids.
Well, yeah, you're single because you don't have another lady to your kid's mother is not around. So you can say that you're a single. You are a single father. But when women say that I'm a single mother, it makes everybody think that there is not a father in their kid's life, and that's not true.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
We got to watch the language. We have to watch the language. Yeah. Those simple things, that's good. That's good. No, go ahead, Edmond.
I was going to say, you hit the nail on the head, brother, because I see a whole lot of women be saying they single parents, and if that child support wasn't rolling in, from that daddy, they would have to go to work,
Exactly.
I'm just saying in some scenarios, they act like they do it by themselves, but even if the father not around, but his money, I'm not saying it's right for the father not to be there in his presence, but I'm just saying a lot of time when they say they doing it all by themselves, but they getting $1,800 a month in child support, you're not doing it by yourself.
That's good. That's good. That's good. This is an interesting question that I had, and Edmond, we'll talk to you about child support because you've talked about that earlier, how the system is set up for basically sometimes to separate the children from the fathers. It's not a system that is for, So, Homer, I think you are the one popping.
You think so? It's nothing popular. Let me.
Yeah, it's him. But we're fine, y'all. You know how we roll. We're a family. You know how we do. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Is it me? We're fine. Oh, I think it's my mic. Is it? I don't know. We'll keep going. Okay, y'all. But this is something that I find interesting, Sex Man. Let's talk about the court system. Have you ever tried to get child support from the mothers?
Um, I didn't personally, but whenever like the way they have it set up now, anytime any parent, like if you have the children and you seek any type of government assistance,
Mm-hmm.
they go after the other parent automatically.
Okay.
And so I didn't uh do it per se, like with my son's mom and stuff. Like that was years ago, and like whenever I would um uh like even any kind of assistance, cause like I said, you go through times in your life where you need help, and you can't have too much pride, but when you hit a brick wall, that's where my organization was birthed out of, because I kept hitting brick walls every time I try to get help. It's like they'll say they help anybody, but really it was just centered basically around single mothers and children, because even with homeless shelters and stuff, they have places where the mom can go and children, but nothing for a father, that kind of stuff. You're a father
Wow.
of a
Yeah.
child, you ain't got nowhere to stay. Your child can stay, but you can't stay. And just different little things like that. So if you need financial assistance, like you need help with utilities or rent or anything dealing with the government, like SNAP, benefits with the food stamp, anything you try to apply for, um, they got it where they go after the other parent. And so I had applied for some benefits and stuff, and then they went after my children's mom, and
Mm.
so they was mad at me, and I was like, I didn't do it, and so we had to end up going to court over that, because they were trying to get them, to pay.
Yeah.
And I say I did, I wasn't really worried about it, and so but they still ended up putting child support on my child, on my son's mom, and it was like the minimum. It was like minimum wage, because I said I wasn't really worried about it, and I don't know how much you make. I don't even care, and so they did like minimum wage, and
Mm.
she still got 5 years behind on that. And,
Wow.
and,
So she's 5 years behind, and we hadn't went after her. But if it was a father, honey.
yeah, if I was 5 months behind, a week, so, I would be in jail, Uh, but yeah, they never pursued,
I'm a computer
and
operator.
they never went after, and I didn't care, but I knew that if the shoe was on the other foot, because it have been on the other foot,
Yeah.
and I have spent time in jail for child support and stuff, even when it was like like temporary custody.
What's wrong with
Because of course,
this?
it's just messed up. But yeah, but I didn't pursue it, but they went after them, and then when they got 5 years behind, nothing was ever done about it, and I never even tried to get it or nothing. It wasn't no big deal.
It is what it is. But thank you for your truth, because I think we need to know. We need to know what's going on, because we've seen the movie, right? The Pursuit of Happiness, Will Smith, and we saw that whole situation. It's not a movie, it's real. We have men really dealing with that. Brothers, I what are your
What is wrong?
concerns for your children, though, in today's society? First, I want to start with you, Homer, then Edmond, because raising kids in today's world, today's society, all the distractions, social media, everything they're saying. What are your concerns as a father for your children?
My kids are pretty stable.
Okay.
Uh, they had two parents that always been in their life. Uh, the ones that are married are family oriented.
Hmm.
They bought their family. Period.
Yeah.
So none of them never been in jail. None of them never been in trouble. Uh, they really well rounded.
Yeah.
They really are.
Yeah.
We all got concerns about our kids when they out there. When they go out in them streets, when my kids come visit me, I stay up until they come home.
Yeah.
Because we worry. I'm not worried about what they're going to do. I worry about what other people are going to do to them.
Right. And even if that, yeah, because you can't control other people. And we're in a
Exactly.
world, my goodness.
Yes,
And
my
with
kids
your
are very
girls.
oriented. I got
And with,
girls. I got 4 girls and 3 boys.
yeah,
So
man. And
Yes.
y'all, we just see so many murders going on. What was that? Migos rap. Y'all saw that story. Just young people can be anywhere. I mean, anything can happen. So I like that you hit that, Homer. It's what other people are gonna do. With our young girls. But yeah, I think that you, Saxman, you, Edmond.
Uh, well, I mean, even now, like I was saying it before the show started, my girls at a football game now, and all I can do is tell them be careful, be safe, and have a good time, but just always be mindful of your surroundings and stay with somebody. Don't be going off by yourself nowhere. And it's just just their own precautions, but. Uh, I just got a saying, we do all we can in the natural and trust God for the rest. So
That's right.
because protection, I mean, is limited. We limited with our protection, but God, he got them, even when I can't see them.
Yeah. Homer, how do you, and I want to hear from you first, Homer, and then you, Edmund. What do you say to men who say, you know what, she's too difficult, the mother's too difficult, I'm just not going to be in my child's life? Or they feel like it's too late to be in their child's life. What do you say to that, Homer, to those men?
I think that's BS.
Okay.
I think that BS. And believe me, I was one of those guys.
Mm-hmm.
Until an older guy told me, he said, "Let me tell you something. I don't care what that woman tell you. I don't care if you ain't paying one penny. You make sure you in your son or daughter's life. You make sure that you exist in their life,
Mm,
regardless if you don't pay anything. You make sure. Look, ain't no woman can stop me from seeing my kids.
that's right.
That's just not gonna happen. They
Yeah.
know it's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
I stopped seeing my kids because I didn't want to, because I didn't want to see her.
Yeah.
And that was wrong. And
Yeah.
when that guy told me that there, I had to sit and think about that. You
Mm,
say your kids need you in their life. Just
wow.
because you're mad at her, you're not. I'm gonna tell you another thing about that.
Yeah.
A lot of men probably won't admit it, but I'm gonna put this out there. A lot of times that a man is not in a kid's life and don't love their kids like they should because they never loved that woman. Any man that loves a
Mm,
woman and love her with all his heart, anything that comes out that woman, he's gonna love to death.
wow.
See, there's a lot of times we having sex with these women, and I'm one of them, but I didn't group since then. But
Yeah.
I'm one of them. I don't even know these women.
Yeah.
So it's hard for
Wow.
me to get a bond with this kid because I don't even have a bond with the mom. I'm not even happy
Mm,
she had it, even though I'm the one who being irresponsible.
wow.
A
Homer,
lot
that's
of
deep
men,
right there.
a
You
lot of men
said because
won't
they
admit
didn't.
that.
Oh, that's good.
So you got to learn to love that kid because you don't know nothing about the mom. You never cared about the mom.
Mm,
You don't even know her. So the ones that I actually was involved with, it was easier for me to love that kid. So I had to apologize to my kids. I had to actually spend time with those kids to get to know those kids
wow.
because I never
Wow.
knew your mom. And they came to me and said, "Hey, Dad, I didn't know you really didn't know my mom."
Mm. Ooh, Homer, that's deep right there. That's deep right there. That's good because they didn't even love the mother. Sax man, what do you feel about that? That's good, Homer. That's good.
Well, me personally, um, I believe that um, well, I don't believe any man that say that if he say that he don't want to be in the child life of the mom too difficult. I definitely don't believe it's an excuse for that. Uh, but once again, I always come from a different angle in my experiences because
And that's what we're talking about. Your personal experiences.
yeah, because there are some situations, well, a lot of situations where the father really do want to be in their kid's life, and they not able to, for whatever reason. But to be honest, it's a lot of vindictive ladies out there, and they'll say anything as far as he abused my child. He raped me. He assaulted me.
Mm.
I mean, anything to get a restraining order or to get some kind of protective order where the child can't see they dead. I done seen a whole lot of them with my organization, and it's sad because you see the scenario as far as the dead, that the deadbeat dead. That's what they call them. You see that scenario played out a lot. And they'll show that about the deadbeat dead, but they won't show the situations where fathers fighting tooth and nail until they ain't got a penny, in the bank, trying to see their kids and trying to get custody or trying to get some kind of visitation or something, and they not able to because of lies and false allegations, or just the fact that they out of state, and they don't have the finances, like some other people might have, to travel, their children back and forth, for them to travel to go see them. And sometimes the mom will go on purpose out of state or somewhere where they can't get to the daddy, even out of the country. I done seen situations, within my organization where, some mamas then actually move to other countries to keep their children from seeing their daddy because they don't like the daddy no more, and they mad because the daddy got remarried, and they didn't like the fact that he not with them no more. So they're gonna use the kids, as a weapon, and so that's a lot of the situations I see, in my organization, So you don't hear about some kind, like that.
No,
Don't put
and
no
that's why
restraining order
that's
on that
why
check.
Homer, Homer?
I say don't put no restraining order on that child support check. They still
No.
You can beat them, you can slap them around, but they still want that check on the first.
Wow.
Yeah,
Now that's crazy.
That's
That's
deep though.
you just made a good point because that's the truth. Even when they doing all of that, fighting for to see their child, and they can't, that they still, are getting they check, they garnished, the wages garnished, for the child support, and then a lot of situations I see too where even when the kids finally come, get, they call it visitation. I don't like to say visitation because I don't visit my children and the mom don't visit their children,
Yeah.
but that's what they call it in the court system. But a lot of times you see where the child come over uh, with the dad, and he done spent all his money on child support or fighting for custody, and then when they come over there, he can't really do what the mama can do, so they don't even like being over there because he can't take them on trips. He can't take them, buy them, go to restaurants and have fun, and do stuff with them.
That's true.
It's true.
That's true.
Yeah.
You know, so I just, when I see stuff like that, it's sad to me because all you see is the other side where the dad is just sorry. You don't see what I'm talking about, stuff like this.
That's good. Let's talk about, before we go into final comments, I want to know first from you, Homer, then you, Edmond, what are lessons learned? Mistakes you made, lessons you learned being a father.
Oof. I'm constantly learning how to be a father.
Okay.
It's
because there's no book, like that's the hardest job.
All my kids are grown. My kids are grown.
Yeah.
But I still want to be a father. I still want to be that father figure. I want to be that person that they come to. If my kids go to their mother before they come to me, my feelings is hurt.
Yeah.
My feelings is hurt. My kids, we talk a lot. We have a real good relationship. Is telling each other problems or what's going on in their life. And sometimes I just let them vent. You don't always have to have an opinion when you're a parent. You don't always have to give advice when you're a parent. Because I learned when I give my advice that don't work out, it costs me money. It costs me money because I told them to go do it.
Yeah.
So I try to let them figure it out on their own. And I asked them, I said, what do you think? So as a father, a parent, you constantly learn. No matter how old your kids, you're constantly learning your kids. You're constantly learning. Now you got to prepare for your grandkids. It don't stop.
Oh, wow.
So What my biggest mistake is, I should have used a condom.
Oh, and you said it.
But I didn't.
If
By
that's
the
your
grace of
truth.
God, I never caught anything. I should have used something. I should have protected myself.
Mm.
And I didn't. And I can't blame them for that because I'm the one like, okay, I'm clean. So,
Yeah. No, and you know what, Homer? And that's why the show is called "It's No Judgment, Just Realness," because you're not the only one. How many brothers? Did you see that? And y'all, I know y'all saw that. That when Ayanla had that man on there with how many kids? You saw her that show that she.
I seen that show.
Yeah, and then she had all the dolls lined up. Yeah. Yeah. So she had all the dolls lined up representing all the kids he had. That was, I mean, that was his reality, but you know, that's what's being depicted. But Homer, I tell you, if that's your truth, that's your truth. Yeah. And how do you deal with that though? Because and when I say that, I mean, you know, you have different women, different emotions. How do you deal with that? How do you maneuver through that though?
I don't. I just be me.
Oh, okay.
It's understood who I am.
Okay.
They'll tell you, hey, he's something else, but he's a good father. They'll tell you he's something else, but he's a good father. I remember the feds was doing an investigation on me, not because I was in trouble, because I was getting a top secret clearance.
Okay.
And she went to see some of my kids' mother, and she came back. She say, you know, the strangest thing, they all say you ain't good for them, but you a damn good father. I feel good about it.
Now,
I really did because for your kid's mother to feel that way about you and speak highly of you mean a lot to me. It did.
And I'm, you know, was your father in your life?
He was there. He wasn't there constantly, but when he was there, I enjoyed my father. My mother never talked about my father like a dog. She never put him down. When I see my father, sometimes I stay summer with him. Sometimes I stay weekends with him. Sometimes I ain't seen him for years. But when I see my father, I was there with my father when he passed. So I love my father. You know?
Yeah.
I really do. So, you know, things happen, you know. And my mother was married to my father.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
So I wasn't, you know.
I think, and I, you know, I this brother Homer last week admitted he was hosting an event I was at in Atlanta, and he said he hadn't talked to his father in 20 years, and his pastor said you need to go make peace with that man. And I think that can affect it too sometimes. I mean, I'm not a man, I can't speak from, you know, but I think when you forgive, that can kind of help as well, and instead of holding that hurt. Yeah.
I wasn't about that long, but I wasn't angry. He wasn't angry at me. We didn't have the technology back then, you know, like we got now. But anytime I come and I don't see my father for a period of time, I go find him.
That's good. I think how bad do you want it is what it comes down to.
I find my father. I love spending time with my father. That's
good. That's good. And prayerfully, brothers, somebody's out there listening and you're going to make an amends. You're going to make some peace. And your daddy, look, and sometime they couldn't break the curse, right? But if you can, and God put it in your heart, you got to just go. You got to go and put your pride aside. Edmond, you.
Me what?
Well, when we're talking about
his whole family was with all the men was his family with their kids.
Yeah. So yeah, they were in there with their kids.
So
yeah. Well, just
Oh, I forgot what the question was.
Yeah, isn't that interesting? Because we be talking about all kind of different stuff.
It was about, you know, you asked me was my father in my life.
Yeah, so that's what I asked him. You know, because of his situation was different, Edmond. But no, before we go into comment, I want to know from you, Edmond, your lessons learned. Your lessons learned as a father. Any mistakes made, lessons learned? Because there's a brother out there who's like, man, I've just fallen too far. I messed up with my kid. You.
Well, just like the brother said, you know, we're a work in progress. You know, you don't never really arrive, you know, but you do supposed to learn, you know, as you go, you know, and when you learn You know, you just do, but you're supposed to do better.
That's right.
And me myself, um, like I'm 51 now. You know, the 20-something-year-old me and the 51-year-old me, two different people now. You know, and so uh, me looking back, you know, like I say, it's like looking back as far as things I might have could have done different. You know, everybody can say what they could have done different because
That's right.
you was you know that age and that maturity level, you know, all that back then. You know, of course, if you look back now, if you was the same type, you know, same maturity level, and you know what you know now, you would have done different. But I just don't like to look at it like that because you said, you know, we don't have no blueprint, and so it's like even with other people and stuff, you know, you got to be careful taking other people's advice because nobody really go through the same thing. And so, you know, I ain't saying you don't supposed to seek advice and counseling, but I'm just saying you have to be careful because you have to make sure that advice they giving you apply to your situation, you know,
That's
because
right.
everybody got opinions, you know, they want to tell you stuff and you know, and so since it ain't no blueprint and I ain't never seen nobody raise the perfect children, you know, I try to do you know the best I can, knowing what I know, and I always fall back, you know, on the word of God because I can't I can't raise my child based on my own, you know, little pea brain knowledge. You know, I don't know enough to really guide a human being in the right way. So I just, you know, do like I say, I do all I can and now to trust God for the rest because it's like there's only so much you can do. You know, you feed them and give them clothes and they have somewhere to stay and you might have, you know, a vehicle to drive them in, take them places, but you know, we limited. That's pretty much, you know, all we can do. You know, just natural things, just material things. You know, but there's more to it. You know, because you got to really look at, you know, they spirits and they minds. You know, because we spirit, soul, and body. So you know, I might can give them clothes and shoes and food and house and car, but you know that's temporary stuff. You know, so I try to put you know some lasting stuff in them. You know, that's gonna hold them. You know, even after I'm dead and gone. You know,
Yeah.
and just teach them to fear God. You know, and obey His commandments, and you know, and the love, and you know, be quick to repent when they do wrong, and quick to forgive when other people do them wrong.
Yeah.
You know that kind of stuff. You know that kind of stuff. That's going be more than just outward. You know,
Yeah.
material.
And to let y'all know, there was a brother who he runs the DePelchin. He's at the DePelchin Center. They have a program for single fathers. They have a nonprofit helping single fathers maneuver fatherhood as well. So we're, he's one of very, very few like you, Edmond, who are really truly helping men. So but yeah. Brothers, I want to know any final comments you want to say. Homer, we'll hear from you and then you, Edmond. Any final comments you want to say on fatherhood? And then give me like your favorite scripture, your favorite quote, anything that keeps you encouraged as a father even on those days where it's hard.
I just love my kids.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to be encouraged to love my kids and do the things that I need to do for my kids. Yes, I made some mistakes down the line. I think I done made up for those mistakes over 1,000 times. And if they don't think so, oh well. Oh well. My kids love hanging out with me. Me and my kids, they love hanging out with me. They love doing things with me. We love each other. We have misunderstandings sometimes.
Yeah.
They may go a couple of days without calling me, but I get this text, Dad, what you doing?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I think we're in a good place. This is the first time I've really been in a good place with all 7.
That's good.
Somebody always mad at me. I told them I said, I don't want to be the best dad in the world. Mm-hmm. The best dad in the world is a sucker.
Yeah.
I got to tell you the truth sometimes. Yeah. I got to say no sometimes.
Because that's a good father. Right?
Yes.
You give them everything they want, they'd be no good. Come on. Homer, I'm telling you, that was good. You, Edmond, Anything else you wanted to say, Homer? I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I'm good.
Okay. Okay. You, Edmond?
Yeah, and just to piggyback off of that, you know, even being the best parent that you can be, a lot of times, the children, a lot of times the more you do, the more ungrateful they can be sometimes, and the
Yeah.
less appreciative, they can be. And so sometimes that's kind of frustrating, because it's like you finally in a position where you can do more for them and give them more, and they can have a better life, and then it's like they don't even appreciate it, or they ungrateful. And so that's kind of like what I deal with a lot too, because it's not just always talking about the dad that's not doing right. The ones that are doing right, it's still tough. Sometimes it's still a struggle. Sometimes because even when you're doing all you can, sometimes it goes unacknowledged or unappreciated. And so it's like you expected to do it. That's what everybody. You're a man. You're the daddy. You're supposed to do that. And so yeah,
Yeah.
we're supposed to. But it does feel good. To know that it's being appreciated and they grateful. For what you're
Yeah.
doing, the
Yeah.
sacrifices. You making and stuff. Because I mean, because I mean, I done been. I got so many testimonies. All the stuff. I try to shield my children from. I take a lot of arrows, in the back,
Yeah.
and they don't even know, the stuff that you have to deal with just to keep them safe, and to keep
Yeah.
them protected,
Yeah.
so. But that's
Good.
the main thing, just not always just looking at the deadbeat dad, the fathers that are in their children's life, we all go through it. We go through it too.
That's good. I find, don't you, and favorite scripture verse, favorite quote, what keeps you strong as a father?
Romans 8:28 is my favorite scripture in the Bible, I believe. And we know that all things work together for the
Yeah.
good to them that love God, them are called according to his purpose.
Yeah.
So even when things don't turn out the way we plan, if we know, we in God's will, whatever he allowed to happen, hey, it's supposed to be, so even if it's not, you know, something that we it might be out of our control, but
That's
like
right.
I always say, about when it comes to spiritual stuff, I always say if it don't turn out the way I planned, if the devil look like he got a hold on the situation, I say whatever the devil means for evil, God gonna turn around for our good every time.
And that's what you have to do. That's the only thing you can do. I'm telling you, if your children are still here after what, Homer? I mean, how many kids do we see not make it past high school? Kidnapped, sex trafficking. Every time we look up, it's an Amber Alert. You know what I mean? So, brothers, you all are blessed. And I love when men just care. So I want to thank both of you. I want to say God bless both of you, man. And if I don't see you before, have a happy Thanksgiving and a blessed Thanksgiving.
Back
You
at
too,
you.
God.
And
Thank
Homer,
you so much.
I'm so glad Homer has supported. Now, Edmond, you supported. We know that. But Homer, you were with me when I was in the public access station. Remember that? And has supported since day one. So all of my people who support, I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. Every single person, seriously, who listens, who comes on to be a guest. Y'all think y'all are, I'm blessing y'all. No, y'all blessing me. Because y'all don't have to be here. So I thank people for spending their time, man. And just God bless you both. God bless you both. Bye-bye, guys. Thank you.
Check out those Astros.
Ah!